Example, when we were talking about the 100, you know, when you were, what were you talking about? Oh,
Yeah.
the breathing and the circulation
Yeah.
and all that. And I'm like, that's super awesome.
Yeah. But the 100 for you
And
was
then for me, it's so about my psoas not being strong enough to support the length of my legs because of my lordosis.
yeah. So
Right.
there's
So
so
for
many
me,
purposes
there's so
for
many
it.
purposes for it, and there's so many different ways of modifying it that is helpful for the body that is right in front of us.
Right.
Maybe we should say hello.
I know. Welcome to For Pilates' Sake. Veronica and Matilda here, and we are going to just discuss the 100. Now, I was saying earlier that I think the 100, or I don't just think it is, but I mean part of the 100 is to create circulation by the pumping of the arms and the breathing to get a decompression in the spine, detoxify, decompress the spine. I already said that. And you were saying it was...
For me personally, because I live a little on the lordotic side, it really has a lot to do with me strengthening my psoas to support my lumbar in a flexion, which is what the 100 is in.
Absolutely. And there's so many exercises that require that positioning where the toes are eyeball level.
Yeah.
So if we consistently do 100 with knees bent, though those are great, they're modifications, people need to do that, but we want to get to what Joe originally designed it as, to bring the body to uniform development. And this is really a precursor for very advanced exercises. So sometimes you're like, oh, why can't I do corkscrew very well? Or again, exercises that require toes to eyeball level, then we have to come back to why we're doing the 100. And I think it made a very valid point that the psoas is a very important and intricate part of the strength of that exercise.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if I kept doing personally the 100 with my legs out and my spine in extension, I would never be able to get to that place.
Right.
So why don't we take a look at the setup, the breath. We'll take a what the exercise is about, and then we'll just break it down a little bit for people.
Okay.
You know, so this is basically one of the first exercises that you're going to teach people, but clearly it's one of the basic 5, yes. But I'm going to probably make a guess here that most people are not going to be able to hold their legs out right from the get-go. But we're going to show you the full-out version of the 100, and then we'll just back it up a little bit so that people can just do what works for them and their body. All right, so you just basically are going to start. You're going to take a big breath in, and then as she exhales, she's going to find her strength to be able to pick her spine up into flexion and to hold her legs up in her center. And then we're just going to inhale for a 5 count, 5 pumps, and then exhale for 5. And you're going to do that. That's your 100, right? Inhale for 5, exhale for 5. That's 10 pumps. 10 times 10 is 100, and that's your 100. Okay, and then you would bring it down. Now, what I want to be able to just work on a little bit here is at the very beginning, just maybe starting very, very basic, which I'm going to say bend your knees, keep your feet flat. Let's not worry about the weight of the legs, and let's just practice upper spine flexion. Right, so there she is, right? So while you're doing the pumping, just working on organizing your shoulder girdle. And what I mean by that is not overreaching with the arms so that you're hunching your arms up, keeping or pulling them up too high, right? So a nice soft elbow. Veronica's a nice hyperextender, so we'll always be looking at that with her. But there it is. And then making sure that the face doesn't come too far forward. Don't let the head be responsible for spinal flexion. All right? So there she is. The other thing you can do is with your feet, gently push the mat away, and it actually hooks you in. So you feel what you're feeling right there? That's the top of your psoas muscle, allowing your legs to hook into your spine. So that's the muscle that I try to find, and I think all of you should try and find that as well. So that when you're there, as soon as you maybe pick your legs up, see when you let go, it shifts because there's a little bit of a challenge.
So you pressing the feet down.
Yeah, and then finding.
Brings me right there.
As you hook into your, I'm going to say T12, L1, because that's where the psoas, the top of it is. You're trying to flex into the same places the legs are pushing you into. Beautiful.
Great place. And you
Right?
find your tummy very quickly.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Now, if you wanted to advance that, that's when you maybe then start to bring your knees in towards your chest. Maintain the same position of your spine. When you are then strong enough to support the shape of that spine, because if you look at Veronica, I know we haven't done rolling like a ball yet, but this is what your rolling like a ball is going to start to kind of look like. And then as you get stronger, you can slowly start to extend your legs out. Or even
Just one?
Absolutely, just one. I think just one is amazing because the lever of one leg is not going to do the same as the lever of
Two legs, yeah, exactly.
Right?
And the other thing that, if you don't know this, a little bit of science, is that the iliopsoas is the only muscle that can bring the legs past 90 degrees. So it's a great place here to start conditioning and toning your psoas so that it does have the
Absolutely.
strength to bring it out. And that's why we don't
Yeah.
teach tabletop.
Right.
Because then we can't get past those superficial hip flexors.
Yeah.
Which we need to get past to get beyond the abdominals into the psoas.
Absolutely.
And I can do that here because I can
Yeah.
breathe and talk to you.
Yeah, nice, right?
Right?
And
Yeah.
there you are. So
Yeah.
there's, so just know you can modify down to find the flexion of the spine
Right.
that you're looking for. And then the legs are simply an extension of the strength that you have in your body. Now, the other thing, I would just, so instead of just, I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
noticed that,
Yep.
there's this tendency
To
of
lock out.
reaching, and what's happened is you kind of are giving your legs away. So I'm just going to put my hands on Veronica's feet and I'm going to gently allow her legs to draw back into her so that she takes ownership of her legs instead of giving them away.
And then gripping really
and then
superficially.
gripping, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Awesome, awesome.
Okay. So I
Yeah.
think, what do you think? That's feels
Yeah, I'm going to show you something else and get you to do it. Okay.
Okay.
And this is just
So-
something I'll do sometimes as people just don't want to bring their legs out. They're like, no, can't do it. So this is just another way to play with it. Go on your,
Nice.
actually go on your ankles. Like look, go right on your
Oh,
ankles here.
like
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. So what you sort of asked me to do with my feet pushing into the mat,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to gently do that with the roller. So on your exhale, yeah, right, no hanging knees. I mean, if you're going to hang, we want our legs to be held by our center. So right here, no hyperextension. She's going to roll up on her exhale, just curl up to your hunter position. And then just gently kind of roll the roller to you. Yeah. So now you're kind of like drawing those legs. So it's a nice, safe way to kind of practice that, get it in your nervous system. Like, I actually can do that. And then I could say, hey, could you maybe think about lifting your legs off the roller, even if it's a thought, even if you do it just a little bit. You don't have to actually do it, but just the intention will give you a different product.
wow. I love that.
Like that? Yeah.
I love it. That
So-
was wonderful.
Yeah.
And even I like just the idea of
Of the-
taking
yeah.
it off, just even that idea of hovering.
Yeah.
Wow, what an experience. That
Yeah.
was, I loved it.
Cool.
Thank
Now,
you.
this is our perspective today. There's tons of different ways we can look at it because it depends on the body that's in front of you. So it's never a one size fits all. I hope this helps you guys. If you have any questions or comments, can you put it in the comment link below? And we hope to get back to you really quickly.
Thank you for joining us.